day, folks. It's Tourism Tim here with another exciting episode of Tourism Marketing TV. And today I'm honored to have on my friend and client and book a customer, Laura Howard, with Beyond Touring. Good day, Laura.
Good day, Tim. How are you?
Excellent. We were just sharing that it's a warm day here in Northern California, and you've been having some wet weather in Florida.
Yeah, it's our summers. We always have those showers that are just downpour, and then they lift off, and it's like you're in a sauna.
Well, it's a good thing about weather. It always changes. So why don't you share a little bit, Laura, with our viewers, a little bit about your business, where you do what you do, and how long you've been doing it, and so people have an idea of the tourism business that you're in.
I have a small family-owned tourism business, and the name of it is Beyond Touring Incorporated, and we focus our tours on in the country of Belize. And so specifically, I'm in a small niche market because Belize is the only country that I sell. So that has its own trials and tribulations that go along with it. About 11 years I've been in it. I have a degree in archaeology specifically, a master's degree. And everything kind of rolled into going into the tourism business through that. I started doing some heritage archaeology, what they refer to as heritage archaeology, public archaeology, which fit well into it. So it just kind of progressed as the years went on. Now I really am kind of in a little bit more niche in terms of eco tours is the focus of what we're attempting to do in Belize now.
And how long have you been in business, running the tour part of your business?
About 2000 we started, so we've been about 11 years now. I've been in Belize since 95 and lived and moved there in 96 for 5 years. And then when I came back stateside, this is what I started doing, was a small business to, keep me in Belize, and then just how it all evolved that was what I enjoyed to do the most within even the field of archaeology and the field of public archaeology, tourism. That's what I found that I was most satisfied, happy, content. It was what was really pulling me.
Well, that's really neat that you've combined your academic background and study, what was your passion, and brought that into your work world. So you're really combining things that you love both academically as well as regionally. I mean, obviously you like the tropics, you live in the tropics, you work in the tropics, and so that's really neat. And to me, that's one of the common denominators that I see across the board is for tourism professionals, whether they're seasoned pros or just getting going, is combining that passion for what you love to do, whether it's a skill, a sport, a region, and combining that putting that into the tourism model so that you can get paid to doing what you love. So since you've been in business since about 2000, it wasn't a breakthrough success from the get-go, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a really slow grind, and I knew it was going to be. And even discussing with you along the lines what we've talked and coached and stuff, I had this. That's exactly what it was. And I remember one time I sat down with an individual woman company that's down here in Miami, and I consider them very successful in the travel industry. They do worldwide. But I sat with her for a while, and she was like, "Oh, she's like 5 years, definitely 5 years before you see any profit." She was like, "I hope you don't think you're going to jump in," and so I knew, I had a feeling that was going to be the road for it. But yeah, it was an instant success, but it's definitely coming along nicely.
Cool. Well, tell us what. Thanks for sharing that, and because I want people to understand that this is a journey, and we're on an adventure, and it's and not everything just busts open right away. I mean, you can have some huge breakthroughs that can make a big bumps, but it is a journey, and like any business, you have to lay the solid foundation. But that foundation is serving you well. What have been some of the big breakthroughs over the last couple years? What's really been working?
Probably for us, and what we're doing is, the foundation that you discussed was the archaeology, but then what tied in with that well is this small community that is there near where I've mostly done a lot of my archaeology work, is in northern Belize. And it was there that when I started it, I thought, well, you know what, I could do tours. But then we were also doing a lot of community development while we were doing our archaeological projects. And I thought, well, you know what, I could do tours and I could do grassroots community development along with it. So initially with the business plan and overlaying everything, that was one of the big breakthroughs, was the fact that, you know what, not only can we maybe profit from this, which is, a lot of times is the ultimate goal, but we can also help the residents in the community that's right there where we go. And people are very interested in that. And it just seems to be a serious trend within the tourism industry. So to me, that's been one of my breakthroughs. The other was that I initially thought I was going to do was considered FITs, individuals, whether they're families or couples. And I find for me and for that community development, the groups have been a big breakthrough for me, because I never thought I was just going to run groups of people. But number one, it's more profitable for the bottom line. And number two, I feel like we get more out of it. We go and do these larger projects. My groups stay like 4 or 5 nights in the village, in this small community. Whereas my families tend to want to do a little bit more. They stay in the community, but then they want to do a little more high-end. They don't have as much impact on the grassroots effort as the groups do. We certainly do both. But so that was another breakthrough with the business. And the other thing is what we talked a lot about with this whole starting a business and what's a breakthrough, how you can operate on the internet, how you can operate within the social media, within the world that we live in that's so wide of this whole just people instant. I am amazed how many people are on their iPad or on their Blackberries or their iPhones you can tell when you get communications, that's where it's from. And it's like, wow, these people are like sitting at the airport or wherever they are, and they're writing saying, hey, how about Belize next? Maybe they're on their way back from another trip. But to me, that's one of the breakthroughs too. I definitely knew that's where where I was going to start the business, but I didn't know it was going to be almost the entire business.
Things have certainly changed. Since you've started your tourism business, the channels that we get our prospects have really transformed it. I believe back in the early 2000s, I would guess it was maybe a little under 50% of where people were finding things. Now, for you, is it over 90% of your business comes through the online?
I don't even know if we can put another 10%. I really don't, because I can't even think. Like just today, I have a group of 4 people that are going. They're from London, and I had Australian couple. And for some reason, just as we've built, it's becoming more international. Traditionally, it was just U.S. market, and that's what I have everything set to market as. But being open on the web, you're going to pull other countries. But recently now, I'm really even more so, and I don't know if that's because just the building of a reputation and having that solid reputation involved in it is part of it, or people from other countries are realizing, well, a lot of these U.S. companies are viable and are good and secure and things like that.
Yeah, safety and security is definitely a key thing. Well, so over the years, I'm trying to think when you and I first met, how you first found me. Was it my book online?
It was. I basically was doing keyword searches, just like we always talk about, but that's what it was. I really wanted, I remember specifically that's what I was like, and not even necessarily marketing, right? It wasn't even, I just remember thinking there's got to be somebody out there that functions as a mentor in this industry. And that's what, or can give advice. And it was the really neat thing to me was that as soon as I landed on your page, I thought, it's all here. Like everything, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like the SEO stuff that we did. There's people that that's what they do within marketing of, companies, or, it wasn't just one thing. It really was so widespread. That is what I was just, as soon as I got on your website, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, and I was like, every link, looking at everything very carefully. And so, that's really what it was, just internet search. And I may have typed in tourism marketing. I may have done that.
So you were looking for a mentor, and you found my site, and thank you. I'm so thrilled to find that you found it so complete, and that there was so much there. And guess what? There's a lot more there now. But I think you got my book, and then you've probably sat. I know you've been on some teleseminars, because I was recently listening to some for this course I'm working on, and what were some of the discoveries that you found um, through my trainings or my book or my coaching that was unexpected, that kind of what opened up for you that that you would you found really helpful?
Well, I think the number one thing is to repeat myself is the fact that it was everything for one. And I didn't think it would be that. I thought I would find someone who might help with articles. I thought I might find someone who could help with some type of audio. I thought I might help with someone who could help with creation of videos, for promotional videos. I thought I might find, in each of those areas. But like I said, for you, it all came together as one thing. The other thing probably is the fact that it is just so fun to talk to you about what I do and what it involves and what it is, because just like, you've been there, the challenges, you're day in, day out, and been there a lot longer than I had at that point when we connected. And it's one of those things that when you talk to you personally, you're just so inspired by, oh yeah, good idea. Oh man, I could try this. Or, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, my guides. I never thought, I really need to make sure my guides understand how appreciative I am, because they do the groundwork. They're the foundation of a client going there. Mm-hmm. And when I get feedback from my guides and from my clients that say, oh, they had the best time, or, the guide was so knowledgeable. It was really nice to have a Belizean with us. And because, they're talking to me, being, born in the United States and definitely an American, but then knowing they're going to a foreign country. So it's kind of like, it's a twofold thing, because they have the security of someone who's educated, they understand the country, but then they have somebody local that can help as well too. And I had thought about that. I knew it was important, but that was one of the things that you had really stressed to me, these little everyday things that a business can do to be successful that add up as you go along, follow up, all those kind of things. And those are all things that I was really surprised that it just brought so much girth to my understanding of the industry. I got a better understanding of the whole holistic of what I was doing, my life, my career, what my clients go through when they're there, what they expect, than I ever thought I was ever gonna get. It really did. It really opened me up, and there were a lot of things along those lines that got it. And the other thing that we did were all the things that we could do. The links, we worked on link building. And you can hire someone to do link building, which you taught me, right? But if you do it yourself, you know where you are, and you know the sites that you're on, and you know the wording, if there's any wording that you can put in there that's going to jive with any type of search terms that you have on your webpage. And I guess that's the other thing. I never thought that I would actually have so much control over my webpage, like we went over, that I was the one that created the keywords. It just made me understand my things more, as opposed to so many people hire these things out. And certainly in the end, you got to get some techs to do things. But with you, what you taught me was, you can produce the keywords. If you're comfortable, if you feel like that's what you do and you're going to get things, that's what you taught me. It's like, you can build this and you can understand it from that perspective. But I could go on and on about all the hidden benefits of being with you and have what I learned from you. And the friendship aspect of it. Like I said, it's so fun to talk to you, because I feel like we're like we've known each other for years because we're in the same industry. Then that makes it so fun, and that's why I do what I do, is because I enjoy it and it's a fun field to be in. That's what it is. But yeah, I could really go on and on.
Well, you've made my day, and we have an added bonus that today we actually get to see each other, which may be a first. Yeah. We've seen each other, pictures of each other, but this is great. Well, Laura, you brought up a really key point that I want the viewers to hone in on. I too am. I understand technology. I really appreciate it. I would not say that I'm a tech ace. I do not do the hands-on stuff, everything. I look to people to do it for me. But the key thing that you just said that I'm thrilled that you got is the importance of having an understanding yourself of those key words, because I can't tell you how many times I've looked at someone's website in the travel business and see that the keywords are just totally off, or they've just taken a generic group of keywords, and too many of them, and that were not targeted, and just copied and pasted them on every page. And you don't have to have the skill to do it yourself, but you do need to be able to know what keyword phrases. You want to know what pond you're playing in, and you want to be able to control that to give that to your webmaster, and two, to be able to double check what they've done.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
I'm thrilled that you've gotten that, and I also know that you've on the link building. One of the things that you took off on, which I was really proud of you that you did that, is the article publishing. You've done a little bit of that, haven't you?
Yeah, and one of the neat things about all the link building, the articles, which is the e-zine that you put me onto, which I knew e-zine was out there, but I just didn't know how easy it was to do an author profile. I mean, it's like your own little mini website, another one in essence, because all your articles are there and everybody knows, boom, look, this is what she does, Belize archaeology, Belize, what, tours, the best of Belize, history of Belize, things like that are all right there. So they know what you are right there. And so we did the articles. The other thing we did was Audio Acrobat. I'd never been turned on to that before. Those are all over the BeyondTouring.com pages throughout there. And testimonials from Audio Acrobat also does the testimonials for clients that call in, and then they say, we went on a trip with Laura Beyond Touring, and it was the greatest trip we ever had. So, those all splashed on there make a huge difference. Remember, we talked about the layout of the website? Like exactly what you do, this whole thing about scenery. So many people put big, sunset, whatever, and it's gorgeous. But if you see someone smiling, doing what it is they're going to do, close up as you can. And I really think that's true. And now ever since I've learned that, I visit websites and I think, is this appealing to me? And it's true. If I see someone there in the raft, with their paddle and, this big smile on their face, it does make a huge difference. So that was one of the things. We did link building, audio, e-zine. We did tons of stuff, all the SEO stuff. We did all the search engine optimization stuff. Yeah. And if you remember, I can't recall the author of that. That was a text that I got from you, or e-zine. I think it was a PDF book basically you buy online. I printed the entire thing, and I have it in a folder. I've got it all marked up. I've got Post-its in it and everything, and that's what I used to create the page, and it works. I mean, it really worked. It was it was quite a bit of work. But like we said, I completely understand the internet now, how it works. Although they changed, Google changes rankings and things like that. But yeah, I mean, that's all stuff I did with you, every bit of it.